Hi all, welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie, or shall we switch it up and call it the Beauty from Ashes channel. At this point of time, I've just come to realization that despite all this encouragement and that for these video messages that I want to reach to you guys, basically I feel in my heart that there'll be people out there that are struggling, and I'm hoping that to reach you guys in time, hopefully before you make some of the terms of events of different decisions that you guys decide to take a turn for. I want to share this as a form of encouragement, message of hope, and hopefully maybe some clarity and understanding based on my everyday life experiences, as well as just some pills of wisdom along the way, hopefully in a non-judgmental, loving way as support to you all. However, you know, I want to, as I shared so many times, inspire, encourage, motivate you all to a point that hopefully that we can relate one way or another, as well as just interacting and engaging with one another regardless of our everyday situations. You know, with these messages that I've shared so far has been coming from my heart and life experiences, and also just through my quiet times right now of what I've been through, as well as what I've been reflecting on today after hanging with some people, basically, that I feel that this message should be for one of them, you know, or just not just for them, but for others outside the YouTube community versus the autistic community that I'm in, so to speak. I want it for everyone, you know, on any age and stage of life. Right, now to the ones that are watching the video and you're new to my channel, you must have basically come on here for a slight reason or a purpose for that reasoning, whatever it may be, that you're feeling down and out and you're feeling empty, you feel like that, you know, there's something going on regardless what it may be, and that, you know, you need to just reach out and find some ways of message of hope one way or another regardless. You know, right now also basically, before I begin, and you're new to my channel, I'm AspieAnswersAll, or Aspie for short, for many of you that has known me for quite some time. I want to just take the time to thank you many times before, because obviously without your support and encouragement I wouldn't be here today sharing my life story, being a testimony for yous that are going through your, you know, darkest times. You know, right now also basically to the ones that are watching this video, I just want to challenge you all right now, basically, to rise above all the everyday situations, since now this video is about rising above from your everyday struggles and situations. Okay, so this is just mainly from the message from the heart that no matter how hard your road is right now, there is going to be hope in amongst the, you know, hopelessness that you may be feeling, as well as maybe the helplessness that you're feeling right now, that there will be a time that will be a light. You can rise above any situation if you choose to. Again, like anything, it's based on our everyday choices, you know, and it can reflect on it, on our, from the past to the present to actually now. However, I believe that despite it all, you know, we can all rise up to these everyday struggles that we go through in life, regardless what it may be, that is getting us down, knocking us for six. Basically, we can rise up above all these disappointments through these struggles, you know. Also, rising above all the influences of the haters and that hate that they'll throw at us, that we're worthless, we're hopeless, we're nothing. You know, we can, by choice, either, as I said to someone today, take it on, or basically shake it off and actually prove to ourselves especially that we're more than what these words are saying, because they're only words at this point of time. However, I believe also rising above all these excuses, as well as rising above all the fear and all these other feelings and emotions that rolls onto that roller coaster, basically for us all, that, you know, we can be basically the strong ones amongst it all. You know, we can be the living testimony and living truth and proof for those ones that are in their darkest moments. Regardless, everyone has their own story, so to speak. You know, everyone has their own journey, and we shouldn't be here to judge or criticize. That's why I'm here to actually share the light and actually share the love for you all based on my everyday experiences, be it my, you know, health issues that I've been through, regardless, or even just my everyday struggles that I go through in life, or just the everyday personal struggles that you guys may go through that I hopefully will be of value to you. Okay, I believe also rising above all the excuses, as well as all that fear, and last of all, rising above all the fear from what others may think and say about us. You know, this can hinder our greatness of what we're entitled to later on in the future. We have a reason and a purpose in life, every one of us do. However, you know, and we obviously will be at fault, hindering that light that we're supposed to be projecting out to others, as well as just basically the greatness. You know, we need to just share our life stories, our life journeys along with others, spreading that message of hope no matter what it may be. Okay, while I'm sitting here, when I've been contemplating about this, topic to share with you today, however, I've got 3 questions for you to think about and ask to yourselves, basically quietly, maybe in your own time when you have it, or even while you're watching this, maybe is to take note of to what I'm sharing with you all. Number 1, your social circle. To question you on this is, who's in there? Why are they there in your social circle? Basically, do they have a lot to lose than you do? Do they actually learn something from you? Do they have to gain something from you? Or do you have to, in that social circle, as I said to someone today, as we agreed, remove those type people that are hindering us from our, greatness of what's to come in us, Another question is to that one is, why are they around you in the first place or in your life? Are they a reflection of you? Like we said today in this discussion that I had with a few people, it's depending on who we are in that social circle. Are we the toxic person versus they are the toxic person that actually causing that reflection? We just need to counteract what's real, what's not, who's there for the long haul, so to speak. Well, obviously those are the many more questions, more than 3 that I've just flew at you guys right now to share with you all, so I humbly apologise, I've miscounted. But the drill, you guys, up to you. While you're watching this, sit down, take those questions down, meditate, think good about it, maybe, I don't know, PM me, or just, comment below after I've finished this video to you all, and maybe let me know what's going or what have you. I want to share with you all as a form of encouragement though, however, don't let these mistakes of theirs basically throw you away or off course to your life to where you are heading in this moment of time or in the nearest future. We need to be ready about what's going to happen regardless of what it may be. I believe right now, as well as while I'm being real with you, despite of what I've been through, sort of thing, I can actually relate in some parts of the struggles, not all of it, but some of it, that your inner circle has the ability to rule or ruin your reputation based on your everyday choices, based on your everyday actions, based off everything. Everything happens for a reason, obviously. There's an action to a reaction, sort of thing, like the negative forces versus the positive forces, as we discussed today. The inner circle also, however, has the ability to rule our future faster than anything else without us noticing it, however. So if they're not standing up to and what you believe in and what you stand up for, they're not worth our time, obviously, sad to say, but, many people come and go in our time of season, like seasonal friendships along the way. Even if like I said, if our journey is a lonely one, then we can only, rely on the one person, sort of thing. Make sure they're not around you, period. Meaning there is those toxic people that I label, basically, because, we don't want to be dragged down and out by people's influences, their thoughts, their opinions, even though the opinions don't matter, as I'm going to share more later in the piece. Opinions don't matter in the series. Greatness is different, so accept or expect, basically, your inner social circle to be smaller. As I said, we agreed today. I know for a fact that we're not going to be liked by everybody that we come into path. Some aren't always there for the ride for us to share our successes, our triumphs, and our, bad times as well. It's just, how life is, sadly. Some of us may be hard to understand within each other based on our level of understanding, our experiences in life, what we've been through, sort of thing, to a point where, many people will question us, maybe, and we are likely to get misunderstood. I've learnt this right now based on my everyday struggles with aspergillus syndrome, as well as just, my everyday life of what I've been through based on my life experiences versus just, my personal encountership with my beliefs right now. People are challenging me and whatnot, maybe, as well as leaving me behind. But we gotta remember though, because of all this though, the greatness is something hard to understand for us within our grasp, but it's all about, connecting in the higher power. Where peer pressure is existent still and doing whatever you feel is wrong, and you know what is right versus what is wrong, so to speak. Basically, sometimes you may feel uncomfortable with the comfortable, so therefore, you have to get yourself off the comfort zone, take a leap of faith, basically, of all these uncomfortabilities, as well as all this temptation that's lying around us, as well as all these other, bad influential stuff that goes on, be it, example, drug abuse versus, people going into that spiritual realm of the Ouija board, of witchcraft and occult. Whatever you feel is wrong and uncomfortable and tempted to do the wrong, don't do it just because everyone else is doing it. Take a step back maybe and say, do I really want to be like them? Do I really want to actually participate in it? Do I know the consequences of it? Sometimes there's always, most of the time with our actions, thoughts, behaviours, opinions, whatever else has a consequence, however, like anything else in life. Okay, another thing is, out of love, don't do it just because you feel that, you have to fit into that in crowd or whatever status quo of that crowd is, be it whatever it may be, or you feel that, you're going to do it to feel accepted because of the fear of rejection. Obviously, rejection is real. Rejection is a hard pill to swallow sometimes when we get rejected by our peers just because, they think that we're not going to smoke weed or go hardcore with the party drugs, or even basically get so hooked up with them in a way that of their influence that will make us look like a coward. I'll say this out of love, don't do this forever, do those kind of influential things that they're doing, being in that in crowd, the copycat of that, you're more than that. You obviously got a dream, a reason and a purpose in life. I've said this so many times, you've got to drive, you've got basically some of passion in there that you want to fulfill, regardless that you may feel helpless right now and at a standstill in your life, baby. And sometimes we need to take a step back maybe and look into what's going on around us and actually question ourselves. But it doesn't mean for us to partake one way or another, as I've learnt, even though many people may, as I've had so many times, either hated me for what I say or just hate me for the decisions I've made, regardless of it all. But I made my choices, and some of these choices does, as I said, come at a cost. We know for a fact with these reason, purposes and drive and everything else in us, basically in our life, that throws at us of the things to what they don't have, of these ones that are influencing us to take that high road of basically going up to the point of no return of just doing those things that they're doing. Following your crowd, that of the status quo, be it the geeky crowd versus the popular crowd, whatever status quo is, basically won't lead you to your destiny, future, and everything else. Believe you me, I tried that once upon a time, trying to fit into blending, just to give you a little brief overview. And my life wasn't obviously pretty, no one else's life would be pretty, but some of it of what I've been through was a dark, scary time at that time, being young and naive, thinking I know it all, arguing with my parents and trying to think, oh, they don't know because things are changing. But then again, despite the differences in the past and present, however, some of it still coexists today to what maybe was existent in their time. Following your crowd, however, or as I call it, the social inner circle of who we are hanging with, will leave you maybe lost, and following those type people that are lost in themselves, not knowing what they want in life, that regardless that they're wasting their life away, be it on drugs, be it on alcohol, and doing all these real nasty things, which I'm not here to judge, but it's just a reality check, wake up call for some of us. Right now, it's okay, like I'm saying right now, to encourage you all. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to stand out, even if it means, like I said, that we do tend to lose many people along the way. That's what life is all about, finding our own 2 feet in our own missions in life of what goes down. You know, beside all with these haters that I label as that some of the people that I have been talking to, I don't like that term, but it's just a reality check, you know, might be likely saying I'm special and unique. I encourage you to stand out for being different, being the black sheep amongst the white sheep, so to speak. You know, it's being different. The haters will keep saying, I'm you of the security in yourself, and admiring you for knowing who and what you are as a person. You'll be set apart, obviously, from those people, you know, regardless. You should be set apart anyway, because success doesn't obviously fit into that. Greatness doesn't obviously fit into that either. Okay, visions that you have, especially at our very own age and stage in life, wherever we are, but at this point of time, excuse me, not getting tongue-tied, obviously won't fit in also. Okay, being real obviously doesn't count for some of us. Being real and honest, transparent for some of them, you know, of the opposite people that gives us the bad influences will just laugh at us, mock us, whatever. But in reality, if we find the right people, you know, then hopefully along the way that we can be built up, not teared down. Okay, respecting our parents are real, however. Respecting our teachers that are out there, because obviously, even though they may be old and grey or whatever the case may be, telling us how it should be, what it not should be, maybe we just need to take their pull of wisdom, you know, to a point. If we don't agree, we can agree to disagree, so to speak, and just, you know, have our own peace of mind and understanding of what they're sharing with us, or regardless what it may be, you know. I believe though, however, you know, sex, drugs, alcohol, and all those other things, you know, bad things that we go through or do, of those influences, basically won't help us out to chase the dream visions and, you know, destiny of our life, of what's to come. Living your life and doing what matters to you can be bigger, better, and brighter and for you in the near future, however. Okay, to end this, being who you are and embracing your greatness, as well as just, you know, what you have got in front of you. Yourself and the talent will get your future ahead in life. By believing in yourself and to stand up and say, I've got this and can do this, with, you know, the one true being that is by our side, who will never leave us nor forsake us. Try not to fit in and blend in with the other people that's in your life, however. You know, as I said, be yourself, stand out. Be the black sheep amongst the white sheep, you know. Be weird, be wacky, be crazy, you know. But there is a valid point that someone says to me about, you know, a thin line to cross when it comes down to knowing what to say and how to say it versus whatever we agreed on today. Okay, remember, you're special, you're unique, you're here for a reason, you've got a purpose and a reason. Even if you can't find it right now, what's going on in your life with this reason and purpose, just remember it's there somewhere. Your future holds more greatness for you. We're born to be different, to stand out from the rest. You know, cast your dreams by living in greatness and more. Be true and be real. You never know what life will be given to you until you know, go through every trial and tribulation to be that, you know, destiny. So that ends basically one of raising above from your deepest struggles. Give me the like for thumbs up for encouragement. Give me also the thumbs up to show that you're engaging with me. Also feel free, as I said before, commenting below, you know, as well as just maybe some positivity note, or just for anyone that is struggling, especially basically to private message me on Facebook, AspieAnswersAll, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook, AspieAnswersAll, or even private message me here on YouTube. You know, I'm here for anyone that needs to be, but I need to learn, as we discussed today, that sometimes to take a step back, hopefully, and many people will understand that now and again, but don't fret, I will be there, you know, in amongst it all. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to also, as I said, with all these messages that I'm bringing out right now, I feel that it needs to be shared among others, or shall we say to others that are struggling, so that together we can actually create a better community in ourselves, and hopefully that many people will actually understand us in a way of, you know, hopefully not judging us, but then again, it's just the way life is, obviously. So yeah, no further ado, do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for the support, guys, and I'll see you all again soon.